It's time to jump into the Wayback Machine and go back to the 80s. I am your host, Golden J, and with me, as always, Frankie Vegas.
Hey, what's going on?
And we are here to take you back to the greatest decade ever known to man. So let's begin.
Yeah.
What do you know, Frankie?
Not a lot. Less I know, the better.
Yeah, that's what your wife told me for years.
Yep. Not wrong.
Not wrong at all. Well, as we continue our recording frenzy here at the Golden Mojo Entertainment Complex, we are here to tell you about, well, all kinds of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure that we would have something really, really important to say had we not recorded a bunch of episodes today and talked about it all early on.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the downside of recording, multiple episodes in one setting, because you kind of run out of that banter.
Yeah.
You kind of do it, especially the first one we record, we go through a lot, little less on the second one, and now we're actually throwing in a third one, so we're kind of like,
Yeah. What's going on in the Golden Mojo universe? Well, I mean, we are not 100% sure what the tug's going to do, so me and Frankie are going to kick around getting into some 90s stuff, just tinkering around with it a little bit. We want to mainly keep you in the 80s because that's what's mostly important to us, but we are talking about doing Varsity Blues, baby.
Yes.
As a tribute to James Van Der Beek.
Yes.
Also, I don't know. We had some stuff we were working on that we need to retool that was going to be kind of fun with some albums, unknown bands.
Yeah.
I think we're going to make a shift with that. I just need to get it all right in my head so I can tell these guys what I want.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, both of us are still dealing with this head cold.
Yeah.
And it's not that it's 3 weeks old. We're just... oh, that's what they want to hear. It's not that it's 3 weeks old. It's just that it's one day of us recording.
Yeah.
So
if we start doing 90 stuff, are we going to do like instead of a Menzie minute, maybe a Golden minute or Music Mowdown type of deal?
As much as I think we need to go back and do another This Day in Music.
Yeah.
We haven't done one of those in a long time. What was the other thing? We haven't done a What's Your Damage episode.
What's Your Damage? Yeah.
We just had too much other stuff to go, and so these.
Well, we started doing the series, and that taking up a lot of real estate, if you will, So.
Yeah, and we're getting ready to get into. I think we're getting ready to get into a big series that is like 6 or 7 albums long.
I think so. Yeah.
So. We're getting into one that is going to take up a lot of weeks of stuff, and we're looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to the editing of it.
No.
It's insane the amount of editing goes into those, but they're worth it in the end. I think you guys like it. Do you like the series stuff that we're doing? thegoldenimage80s@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. We would love to hear from you. Or you could hit us up on Facebook. We're at the Golden 80s, yeah.
Go to TikTok, comment on some posts.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're getting ready to record some more TikToks. I'm trying to keep up with them. And once again, the way that we've done the last few that you and me have done is a lot of editing, putting text and stuff in there, so it makes it more interesting for the viewers. At least I hope it does, but...
Yeah.
I mean, I think they turned out really well.
Yeah.
But it still takes a little bit of effort to get all that stuff put in there. And then you got to search for all the stuff, every picture, you make sure you get one that's okay to use.
Yeah.
But so on and so forth. But yeah, we've been staying really, really busy, especially coming out of my hiatus with Tucson. By now, I would imagine the Route 66 is just getting ready to wrap up. So I got to figure if I'm going to do something else for Saturdays. or just maybe start doing some live streams with some of that stuff. So
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. I've been watching a ton of TikToks and a ton of live streams to see what different people are doing. I mean, you are now a TikToker. You've spent some time on TikTok. I remember when he's like, fuck TikTok. I don't know anything about that shit.
Yeah.
Now he's on there all the time. But what do you see with the live streams? I mean, I watched one. There's a couple different DJs that play music on their live stream.
Yeah, all sorts of things. Some people are just, talking to their viewers, answering questions.
Right.
I see some trivia ones, where they do trivia.
Right.
It's all sorts of stuff. I mean,
we're just trying to find what's right for us, right for Golden J to do, because, I hate to say it, but with Frankie's schedule and his work schedule compared to my work schedule, we only get a couple days a week where we can actually do something, and we're usually recording or enjoying the family, one of the two.
Yeah.
So I don't know what. So basically, it's about what Golden J wants to do and what he has the time to put down. I've talked about maybe live streaming and edit. I've talked about live streaming making music. I've talked about live streaming just me sitting there in my underwear. These things are possibilities.
You'd have to go on to OnlyFans for the end. And if people pay enough, you can start sliding them down a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Just showing a little bit of, nobody wants to see that. And when I say nobody, I mean nobody. Even when you walk through the house, I mean, nobody wants to see it. Even the dog covers his eyes.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Oh my.
But no, we're kicking around some things. We want to get more content out for you guys. And not only for the viewers who are listening to us on a weekly basis, but to find new viewers and to bring out the 80s more. We did the series stuff because we want to revisit the albums. We want you to revisit the albums and to go back and have fun with them and remember if you were around in the 80s or maybe even growing up in the 90s listening to some of the music from the 80s. I mean, we just want to relive it and bring it back to the forefront so that you guys get a chance to bring it back to the forefront.
Yeah, because I mean, I guess I can't speak for Golden J kids, but my kids grew up with 80s music, so they have a love for it because that driving in the car, that's what we put on.
Right. Did they steal your albums? Did they steal your CDs and stuff?
No, they never did. Never had a problem with that.
Oh yeah, I had a problem with that all the time. It's like, hey, you guys see my Metallica CD? Yeah, Dad, it's back here. I was like, why is it back there? We were listening to it. It's like, come on, man. You're killing me. Yeah. Killing me, McFly.
I think the only CD I ever had come up with my Purple Rain CD. Josh took it.
Really?
I don't know whatever happened to it.
Did you rebuy it?
No, I just Spotify. It's a beautiful thing.
Oh my God. Yeah, it kills the CD sales, that's for sure. Mm-hmm. But it's so great for your consumption outside of that.
Yeah.
Of course, we're used to the first deck that I had in my first car was an 8-track. I mean, I had an 8-track player and it was a 76 Camaro that I owned. That was my first car, and it had an 8-track player in it. Of course, then you graduated to a cassette deck, so you had a big. Some of us carried a smaller case, and we would just take it in the house and swap out different stuff for different days. But like the rocker chick had the dual big ass fucking thing that had every cassette that she owned in it.
Damn.
So yeah, you could flip it over and open the other side, and so yeah, logging through all of that while you're trying to drive down the road, not really a good time. You want a quick funny story?
Yeah.
So the Gunner Band, if you've heard me talk about the Gunner Band, which you can find on Spotify and Apple if you want to go check out. It was a what year did that come out? Early 2000s. I don't know if I have a date on it, but early 2000s we put this album out. It's called Shadows. If you hunt shadows, you can find it. It's kind of a tinted red colored album with the four of us standing there with our long shadows behind us. But musically, song-wise, written, some great stuff. I still stand by the songwriting. Musically, it still needed a little bit. There's a little bit to be desired. It was, we were still very, very young, but we owned a bus. Donnie bought a short bus, and
the jokes are just forming.
Yeah, they're forming, ain't they? I love this fucking bus, man. I loved this bus. We that's what we toured in. We did, we didn't tour, but we would go to gigs in this fucking bus. We walled it off, so the back half was equipment storage. The front half was, they had 2 recliners and a table that folded down into a bed.
Oh, nice.
And I slept in that thing many a nights, let me tell you. But I love this bus. We spray painted it black, and then had D Signs do all the work to it. So we called it the Crazy Train, and it said the Crazy Train right across the front of it. And we had all the Gunner symbols on it, and it said Gunner on the door, and that's what we did. We went to gigs in this bus, and then later on, Voodoo Rain did a few gigs, in that bus, because we were hauling the PA system around. Yeah. Anyway, I'm doing a Voodoo Rain gig. I'm in Columbia City. We were actually doing a wedding reception, and the guys were all heading. Those guys were all heading to Fort Wayne after the wedding reception to go see Surface. And I'm like, well, I got the bus. I can't go to fucking Fort Wayne. I can't drive the bus into Fort Wayne. So I come back solo, and in the back, on the wall in the back, is where we mounted the cassette deck, and that's where the music played from. So anybody in the back could change out the music. Well, I'm driving solo, and I don't even remember what was in there, but I wanted to listen to some Driving and Crying, which I fucking love Driving and Crying. And so I had to pull over into what is now Big R or Runnings or whatever it is. Yeah. I had to pull in there because I had to go back to the back to swap out the cassettes in this fucking tape deck. It's fucking stupid, but that's what I had to do because I couldn't do it from where I was driving. I had to go to the fucking back. Oh,
gotta do what you gotta do.
I gotta do what I gotta do. I love that bus. I'll have to put a picture of it up right here if I can find one. There you go.
There you go. I do have. I got a question because you talked about you were doing a wedding reception as a band.
Yes.
What? Obviously, there's a big difference, but as a DJ and playing as a live band, which one do you prefer?
Well, I mean,
because obviously you've done both.
I've done both. I don't really. I'm for what we were. I wouldn't recommend that. I even look back at it now, and I'm like, no, that wasn't what we should be doing. That's not what they should be having, because we were, we played Korn and Breaking Benjamin and stuff like that, which was heavier. We didn't have that wedding vibe. However, I was also kind of DJing it for them too. Okay. So the band would take a long break. I would DJ for a while. They get to hear kind of what they were wanting as far as that, and then the band took over. I've done it twice, and I probably would never do it again. The first time I actually got into a yelling argument with the bride.
Oh, really?
Because the band was coming in for free. I was getting paid to DJ, but the band was coming in to play for free because they were fans of the band. And let me rephrase that. Her parents were fans of the band, and that's what they wanted. And everybody volunteered their time to come in to do this, and she wasn't having it. And I got into a screaming match with the bride. And I don't love it. It didn't make me happy. We're still friends today. I still see her every once in a while. We're still friends. But it just wasn't, for me, being a wedding band wasn't what I was designed to do. Yeah. So to answer the ultimate question, I'd probably rather DJ because you can play what they want and they're happy. Yeah.
That was what my thought was. 'Cause I'm thinking, as a band, you've only got so much of a set list,
right?
Where if you're DJing, they could say, this is what we want played, and you can download it, and there you go.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah, it's just, it's you nailed it right on the head. You know, it's like, this is our set list. This is what we know. This is what we can play. And you can try to go back and learn something for them, but 9 times out of 10, and all the love to all the brides to be out there, they have no fucking idea what they want. I've spent a lot of time with brides and grooms, but mainly with the brides because they're kind of taking point on all this. Because you know how grooms are. They're like, we could go to the fucking courthouse and get married. I don't give a shit. But with the brides, you know,
give me a time and date, and I'll be there.
I've only run into one groom who was very meticulous about exactly what he wanted, and that's how we rolled it, and it was fine. I mean, I had one mess up on one song, and I mean, it was still fine. I mean, it wasn't like a tragedy, but you know, it happens. You know, they can't all be 100% easy flowing, you know.
Yeah.
But you try. We tried very hard. You know, we're doing some bridal expo. We're doing a bridal expo in the month of February, and hopefully we can gain up some more action on that, you know. But most of the brides they have no idea what is all involved with putting all that together, because they think you have a first dance and your mother, son, and father-daughter dance. And that's all they think about. They don't think about what's your song for entering the reception. What's your exit song at the end of the night? Do you have stepfathers or stepmothers that you'd like to dance with? Because, you know, I've done that too. You know, what's your grandparents' walk-in during your wedding ceremony? What's your bridal parties walk-in, and what's your walk-in? You know, they may have their walk-in, but they didn't think about what the bridal party's walking into. You know, it's just, there's so much involved in it, and a lot of the times, and I get it, they're planning a lot of things. They have a lot of stuff going on, but a lot of the times they're like, we have no idea. Like, okay, that's why we're meeting 2 months before your wedding, so that you can put it together and get back to me, because it's going to take me a couple days to get everything put together, and I'll be good to go. And that's why I like to meet with them. I did one several years ago. I had a phone call with the bride and groom, and that was it. I never met them personally until they were walking into the reception.
Oh, wow.
And I had to go out and meet them outside, because, you know, I was waiting for them to come in, but I walked out to introduce myself. And of course I came on a recommendation for somebody they knew and trusted, and we had a great night. It was a lot of fun, but that was the first bride that ever yelled at me for saying, I'm not playing any Taylor Swift. Which I just do it to fuck around with people, but she's like, no, you will play the Taylor Swift, and I'm like, oh fuck. She goes, that's one of our songs. No, she was a sweetheart. Anyway,
I love it when people come up with good stuff, though. And like one of my friends, his daughter got married, and when after, you know, I now pronounce you man and wife, you make it, you know, you can kiss the bride, blah, blah, blah. And when they turned all to walk out, the whole party, they started playing the Ramones, Blitzkrieg Bop, or whatever, however you pronounce it. And they're doing a little dance down the aisle, and I'm like, that is pretty fucking cool. Hey, yo, let's go. Okay.
I'm mixing my songs because I'm thinking of the Crocus song Ballroom Blitz.
No.
Yeah. That's where I was like, wait a second, hold on. So a couple years ago, I did a wedding, and I DJ'd a wedding, the ceremony and the reception. Colton was the minister, and Chico was there as a videographer. And your son was there as the he was my runner. But I'm gonna admit, your boy might have been a little toasty.
Maybe.
He wasn't a very good runner for me, but because he was having way too much fun, so I don't care. It's fine. But I remember looking out and like, oh yeah, he's had a couple. And legally so, it was fine. Everybody get
Yeah.
off my back. He's old enough.
Yeah.
But that was one of the things that I offer is I give you a personalized entrance song. And that was one of the things that they took full advantage of. And when I was doing it, I'm like, oh my God, how is this going to work? I did the transitions between songs, car crashes, explosions, big drops. I mean, I went through it meticulously, and I built this with like 7 songs because there was quite a few bridesmaids. And plus they brought their parents in, but it started off with Let's Go Crazy by Prince. And that's what her mom and dad walked into. Okay?
Yeah, cool.
They were in full dress. He dressed up like Prince. She dressed up like an 80s girl, Madonna style.
Uh-huh.
And he was carrying a guitar. And that was their entrance. And then the next one, I don't remember exactly how it went, but I know that one of them I did the Home Depot song to, and they ran out with orange cones and tape measures, hard hats, and the vest. The other one was the Bullet Boys, Money, 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 and they walked out with those money guns, shooting out the fake dollars. They put a lot of effort into it, and I remember standing there. Now, remember, I just said, I thought when I was building it, I said, this is ridiculous. I can't imagine this is going to work. And I stood there, and I was so proud of what I put together and what they had put together, and it worked beautifully. So, so sometimes it really works out, and sometimes it doesn't. I've had ones where I build it, and I send it to them so they know, but they still walk in fucking 30 seconds before I announce their name. And it's like, because I do it pre-recorded. 1, you get what you want, and 2, I don't fuck up your names. Simple.
There you go.
Yeah, simple and easy. All right, Frankie.
All right. Hey, you want to listen to Perfectly Picked Games and get on with this episode?
I do.
All right.
Let's roll it here.
Looking for unbeatable deals on games and toys? Perfectly Picked Games goes live twice a week on the Whatnot app with exclusive auctions. Tuesdays and Fridays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Use code Golden Mojo for 10% off your first win.
All right, that's Perfectly Picked Games, guys. Go check them out on the Whatnot. Definitely go check out their website, perfectlypickedgames.com. All right. All right, Frankie, you ready for this?
I am ready for this.
I don't know if I'm ready for this.
Yeah, this is a hard one. Sad.
This is a tough one. Probably one of the biggest stories of the 80s.
Yeah.
Definitely of the late 80s.
Mm-hmm.
It had a nation's attention, period. Not only the United States, but international.
Yes.
I should have said the world's attention.
Yes.
Because everybody was focused in on this.
Good evening, I'm Bill Butel. All America is watching and waiting tonight, watching the little town of Midland, Texas, and waiting for rescuers to free little Jessica McClure. The 18-month-old baby has been trapped for 22 feet underground for more than 56 hours now. Her parents are standing by. There were high hopes today that little Jessica would be free this afternoon. At one point, a paramedic was able to reach inside and touch Jessica and even talk to her, but they've not been able to get her out yet. Local officials say they are close.
We've never changed course. We've never changed plans. We've been on track right from the beginning.
No miscalculations?
No miscalculations. We get to a point now we got to be very careful. We don't want to injure the child either, so we're going to be very careful and very cautious.
At various points today, Jessica was singing nursery songs, but mostly the little girl has been crying for her mother. With daylight fading, rescuers are stepping up their efforts to free the child. It's a story that has captured the hearts of many Americans, and we'll have a live report from Midland, Texas, later on in our program this evening.
And on October 14th, 1987, in Midland, Texas, an 18-month-old girl fell down a well. And it took them 58 hours to get her out. Unbelievable.
And we're not talking a little, like a big old wishing well
Right.
that you throw a pin. We're talking like a little.
Yeah. So let me start with this. She was at her aunt's house in Midland, Texas.
Yes.
And I'm a little conflicted in what exactly happened. And as I've watched documentaries, I've read things, to try to be prepared for this. But one of the stories is that they were playing hide and seek, and that one of the older kids said, "We'll hide her in here," and they put her in there. One of the other stories is that the cap was off of that well, and she just fell into it. Yeah. Do you know which one it is?
I've heard that they were outside playing, and the cap was left. That's the story I've heard, that the cap was left off, and she just, and it was level to the ground,
right.
And she just
plopped
went
right
down into it.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's an interesting change of events that happened with this, because, she falls down the well, and I don't even know how the parents found out, or the aunt found out that she was there, whether the kids went back in and said, she fell in this fucking hole in the ground.
I think that's what.
They just ran back in and told the aunt.
Yeah, I believe so, yes.
But the phone call, the 911 phone call, was one of the most lackluster phone calls that I'd ever heard. It was just kind of like the police department was like, "Oh, okay," and the aunt was like, "Oh, okay." She fell down the well, and the police department was like, "Okay, we'll come and check it out." And of course, they send one cruiser, and then they realized the severity of this situation, that they weren't just going to reach down there and pull her back out, because I think originally she had actually fallen down 8 feet in the original drop.
Yeah.
Which I found interesting, because I don't know how they couldn't just kind of lasso her around down there, send something down to kind of grab her and just bring her back up. I mean, this is my thought process. I'm like, why don't you just throw a rope down to her and just pull her back up? But I mean, she's 18 months old. She's not going to hold on to a rope.
Yeah.
But initially, they start to dig around to try to dig down, and the vibrations of the fucking ground now dropped her 22 feet.
Yes.
Which, damn.
Yeah.
And then it begins.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get into this turning into the mass media event that it turned into. Not just the media, but the volunteers, and the people that were so focused on her and getting her out of there alive.
Yeah.
Because I believe, stop me if I'm wrong here, Frankie, but didn't they say that they didn't think she'd make it past 48 hours because of the depth and the oxygen and all that?
Yeah, I think it was up in the air the whole time, And the way she was lodged in there,
Right.
Just wasn't
ideal by any means.
Yeah, it just... Yeah, I'm trying to remember back to things, 1987, it's been a minute, But I just remember there was a reason she was called Everybody Baby.
Right. Yeah, because everybody was so focused on this story.
Yeah.
And like I said, it was international. It wasn't just American news stations picking this up. I mean, it came across in Japan and Germany,
like
Europe.
Everybody and their brother were coming out with ideas, you know. Like, hey, I got this contraption I invented,
Right. Yeah, so we'll talk about that here in a minute, and when we get after we kind of walk through some of this stuff. But so the smarter people in the world got together and decided that they're going to drill down away from the well and then make a cross shaft to go underneath where she's at.
Yes.
So they know she's 22 feet in. They know she's still alive because they have taken microphones and put them down into the well, and they can hear her crying. Mm-hmm. And I guess at some point she was singing to kind of keep herself occupied.
Yeah, she was singing Winnie the Pooh.
Really?
Yes.
I love that.
That was after 45 hours. And that's when they heard her singing.
I mean, oh man, I know she's 18 months old, but as a adult, if I was stuck like that, I'd panic attack.
Oh,
I don't think I could. I don't think I could handle it.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, I mean, I know she was crying, and I know she's scared. Absolutely. I mean, even at 18 months old, I mean, I can't imagine she wasn't scared. But to be able to kind of settle in and just, sing some songs and so on and so forth. But so, they do this. Of course, this hole that they're actually digging is barely big enough for a grown man to get into. Mm. And the farther down they get, they're going to have to do a cross tunnel to get underneath her. Mm-hmm. And, that's all going to have to be hand dug. And in this case, they were using drills, but the rock there in Midland, Texas is so hard that it was just eating up drill bits.
Yes.
I mean, it was tearing up everything they were putting down there. I know that one of the guys said it's like taking a drill and putting it on a metal plate and just trying to drill through it, and it just bounces around, and they weren't getting anywhere with it. And we're at this point, by the time they got the hole dug down to depth, I think it took over 8 hours to dig that to 20. Did they go 25 feet, maybe 23 feet, somewhere in there? Mm-hmm. So by the time they'd done that, you're already looking at, probably close to, I don't know what the exact thing was, whether it's 24 hours or not.
I don't remember what the exact timing was.
But I know it said it took them 8 hours to dig to that depth. Yeah. Now they got to go sideways.
They were using a new technology as the water jet cutting.
Is that what they were? Is that what they?
That's what they used to cut through the rock.
And that's the unit they brought in from New Orleans, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
So that's where I want to say Bill Jones was his name. I don't know. They didn't talk about him a lot in the documentary, but I think he knew somebody, and he pulled the McClure dad. Mm-hmm. God damn, what was his name? Wow. Way to go, Golden J. Way to stay on top of it. Fucking idiot. The McClure dad, the dad, he pulled him aside and said, listen, if you don't make this phone call, your daughter's going to die. And the reason that he said that is that everybody knew who the family was at this point.
Yeah.
So it would be more clout for him to call instead of Jones.
Yeah.
And so he made the phone call. And within minutes, people knew who he was. And within minutes, they were already on the line to get that water jet cutter to that, to Midland, Texas.
Yeah. On here, it just said a mining engineer eventually arrived to help supervise and coordinate the rescue effort, and a relatively new technology, water jet cutting, was used to cut through the rock.
Right. And it worked, ladies and gentlemen. But it was the interesting fact of this whole thing is that there was a couple people, including the chief of police and an EMT paramedic, that were so involved and so stuck on getting her out of there alive, that they were there for the full 58 hours. Robert O'Donnell was the EMT.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't let anybody else go back down the hole. He would come out, get some air, but he was dead set that he was going to be the one that got her out of there, I believe.
I mean, there was a guy, the roofing contractor named Ron Short, born without shoulder blades.
Right.
And he had volunteered to go down because he can collapse his shoulders. And they considered it, but then they went with O'Donnell.
Right. And of course, O'Donnell spent a lot of time down there. And if I remember right, he was extremely claustrophobic. And I can't imagine being in that little space, digging out that little cross tunnel hole to get to her while being claustrophobic, which is insane. But he did it. Yeah. He definitely did it. And he was the one to bring her out. Yeah. He got her out into a little bit more of an open area, kind of wrapped her up in some gauze and different stuff just to make the trip back up. She's alive and well. There are amazing video footage of them coming out of the well. Mm-hmm. So you can see it. You can see her running across, well, not running. She was being carried. Yeah,
he handed her off to another paramedic.
Right, and they took her to the ambulance, which in turn got her to the hospital and treated her. One of the big things you noticed in they had her forehead wrapped, and you can see it in some of the later pictures, because it was a big run for them after that, lots of TV coverage, meeting the president, all kinds of stuff. I mean, everybody wanted a little slice of baby Jessica.
Yes.
And so come to find out, the head damage here on her forehead was from her resting her face on that fucking well pipe.
Yeah, and sliding down. And I guess she had a spot on the back of her head then too that was kind of rubbed off from, 58 hours down there. Yeah.
That's a long time.
And I think what's worth that is how she was positioned. Yeah. She had her one leg
above her head. Yep.
And I can't even fathom how uncomfortable that would be.
No, not at all. Not at all. So now comes the media frenzy. Everybody wants a slice, and not only a slice of baby Jessica and her appearance, but there was a lot of Robert O'Donnell appearances. Him being the guy that brought her out of the pipe, come with a lot of fame, a lot of media notoriety. And so, how do I put this? Trigger warning. If you're not into this, you can scan ahead a little bit. Okay. Robert loved the media coverage. He loved the fame. In the documentary I saw, Robert and Mr. McClure, Jessica's dad, were out at a bar sometime after that. Yeah. And Robert was seeing this cute girl, and he's like, "Hey, do you know who this is?" And she would stop, and she's like, "Hey, this is baby Jessica's dad, and I'm Robert O'Donnell. I brought her out of the pipe. I rescued her." He liked that fame. He loved that notoriety. And unfortunately, like everything, and let me tell you, from a guy who's had some mediocre popularity to back to nothing, it's a hard thing. And this is way above anything that I've ever had.
Yeah.
It took its toll on him. So the fact that he was in that hole, claustrophobic, stressed, anxiety that led to him not wanting to come out of there until he rescued her, the height of the popularity, and then to the downfall, a lot of people revolve this around kind of PTSD. And what it does to the brain and the way you feel and the way that you deal with it. And unfortunately, Robert O'Donnell did not deal with the decline of notoriety very well. And he did unalive himself.
Yes. And I know there's probably going to be people out there that think, what it was because he lost his fame, because it went away. You know, he's a big pussy and, you know, unalived himself. But here's the thing, though. Me and Golden J, we've never dealt with anything like that.
Nothing like that, yeah.
We don't know what that entails in your mind, what it does to you.
Right.
You know, so I can't sit there and judge the guy. You know, and I mean, I gotta admit, you know, having some sudden fame and then it going away, it's gotta be weird, you know. You know, like my life had meaning. Now it doesn't seem like anybody cares whether I live or die,
Right,
you know.
right.
Yeah, that'd be weird, but, you know, like I said, I can't fathom what he was feeling to where it, you know.
It's that severe.
He made that decision.
Right.
You know.
Yep. No, yeah. It's a mental health issue. You know, it's that mental health. And, you know, this was April 27th of 1995. So it wasn't something that was immediately, you know, it wasn't like, oh, I'm here and now I'm down here.
Yeah.
You know, this was a stair step of decline that he was going through. And not the fact that, you know, the resignation is short-lived.
Yeah.
You know, there was this big thing for a few days. It was a big thing of noting everybody for a few days, and then it just falls off. And it's just the way it is. Yeah. You can do 100 searches in things that have just been a peak and then shot down just like that. But his decline, his mental health decline was over several years, you know. Mm-hmm. And it just finally got to the point where he just, I would assume that, okay, this is just me assuming, this is just my opinion, but you have all of these people surrounding you because that's what fame does.
Yeah.
It attracts people. And when that fame wears off, those people go away. So you go from a room full of people that you can interact with, have fun with, and then boom, you turn around and you're sitting in this room alone.
Yeah.
And I would imagine that room alone was just too much. And I mean, let's face it, guys. We've all been there, as some form, not at this form, but we've all been there. We've all had. Let's just say everybody has a New Year's Eve party and it's all exciting, and then the next year there's no New Year's Eve party and you're sitting in your house by yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that same feeling. It's like, oh God, like last year we had so much fun. Why are we not doing this? Why are we not doing it again? And I think that was probably what he was feeling. It was like, we were having all this much fun and we were doing all these things and now it's just all gone and I just don't know what to do with myself.
Yeah. You know, and I mean, people, like I said, people have those, like you said, those situations. Like, let's take Colton, you know, big time. I mean, and I'm saying this as, you know, big time basketball player at Triton. Right. He had moments to where he was the most popular person in 3 surrounding counties, you know.
Yep.
You know, with last minute shots or blocks. But, you know, he handled it to where, okay, it was great when it happened. Now it's not. It's done. It's over.
Yep.
And he had no effect on him. Some people, they
can't deal with that.
They can't deal with that. You know, they were somebody that was huge and everybody loved.
Yep.
And then people forgot and moved on, and they can't handle not having the fame or the notoriety. And, you know, it's sad. But, you know, everybody deals with stuff different.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But listen, guys, if you're listening to this podcast and you're feeling some of this, reach out for help. You can reach out to us, the Golden Image 80s at gmail.com, or you can reach out for professional help. There are phone numbers out there, and I am very upset that I didn't think enough to get that phone number to tell you right now. Yeah. But there are, if you're feeling down and feeling lonely, reach out.
Yeah.
There are people that will be happy to talk to you, help you kind of compartmentalize what's going on, and, you know, get you the help you need. So please don't. Please don't.
Absolutely. I mean, if you want some notoriety, you want people to hear you, call me. I will put some headphones and a microphone in front of your face, and I'll let you talk on our show.
See, there you go. See, there you have it. The invite is out there. All you gotta do is get a hold of us. I love you guys out there. Please, please don't. If you think that you won't be missed, you're wrong. You will be missed. There are people in your life that will definitely miss you, and don't ever think there's not, because that's not true. There's always somebody.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you unalive yourself, maybe you're solving your problem, but you're just causing more problem for other people.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm not trying to down you. That's just the facts of it. And, we're here to listen to you if you need somebody, so please.
Yeah. Reach out to somebody.
Yeah.
All right, Frankie. It was, 3 days? 3 days, 58 hours.
58 hours.
She gets pulled out of the well. She goes on the media frenzy. She meets the president, George W. Bush. Besides being on I think the Rosie O'Donnell show and Oprah, and there's a rampage of stuff.
Regis and Kathy Lee.
Why wouldn't you want to be on Regis and Kathy Lee? Because of Kathy Lee? Oh, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
And then Jessica McClure goes on to live the rest of her life.
Had no memory.
Nope.
Of it.
No memory of it. Did you watch? I did watch a video because I wanted to see. I was just going to do a quick search on see what she looked like today, where she's at. She now, of course, this is part of that doc was that they talked about the way her leg was up.
Yeah.
And that they thought that they were going to have to amputate the leg, but somebody came in and said, no, we can do this and this. So she lost a couple toes. And did she lose a finger?
That I don't. I know they had to amputate a toe due to gangrene.
Right.
But they used hyperbaric therapy, and that avoided the amputation.
That is a big word for you, buddy.
Yeah, hyperbaric. Or therapy.
She has a scar on her forehead.
Yeah.
But I did watch a documentary. I watched a video. It was about a 10-minute video of her now. Mm-hmm. Well, maybe like a couple years ago or whatever it was. She's doing great. Has a couple kids. I think she's running a business or a self-employed business down there.
Yeah, she's married.
Yeah. Just living her life. Yeah, that's right. Because her husband in this doc was talking about, or they were talking about her husband when they were dating. He was like, I think I'm gonna have to break up with her, and like the best friend was like, why? And he's like, no matter where we go, people just surround her and they want to talk to her, and I don't know. And then they're like, well, you don't know, do you? And he's like, no, what? And he's like, that's baby Jessica. And he goes, oh. That explains a lot. So, yeah, happily married, a couple kids. She's doing amazing. There are a few people that know. They know who she is. Mm-hmm. But all in all, she's living her best life.
Yeah.
And I think that's amazing.
Yeah, when she was 25, she got a trust fund that was set up for her and what she used to buy her house. And
right.
I guess she lost, a lot of it was lost. A great deal of it was lost during a financial crisis in 2008.
Right.
Whatever that means. I'm not a money guy, so.
Right. Yeah, a lot of that money was sitting there and being invested and twisted and turned to make more, and then boom, you have a drop. And you remember the 2008 fucking financial crisis, don't you?
Yeah.
God, that was miserable. But of course, we all made it through, and she did too. So yeah, there you go. That is the story, and I know that we missed. That's probably a lot of the secondary people that were a part of the rescue, besides Robert.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's a movie. ABC made a movie out of it. And
did you watch the movie?
yeah, I seen it when it came out. Yeah.
I just rewatched the documentary now. I don't know that I watched the movie back in when it came out. What, 89 or something like that?
Yeah, and with the movies, you don't know how much liberty they took.
Right.
They should. I remember a scene that then stands out to me that the dad, Jessica's dad, went up there. Like, hey, can I please help? I'm her dad. And the guy was like, no, you're not. Get out of here. Everybody here is her dad. We know.
Yeah.
And kind of pushing him back. And I would have been like, if that's me and that really happened, hands would be being thrown,
Frankie's throwing hands. He's throwing hands.
But yeah, so I don't know how much liberty they took with the movie. But yeah, the movie's out there. There's all sorts of stuff, documentaries.
Yeah.
And
They're not extremely easy to find, but they're out there. You just gotta put your word search in just correctly to get what you want. If you want to see an actual documentary, unlike going back and watching the movie or something like that, because a lot of times I bring stuff up and it would take me to that movie, and I'm like, that's not what I want. I want real people who were there talking.
Yeah.
And,
well, there were a lot of people in the movie that were as extras that were
part of it.
Were actually part of it.
Nice. That's kind of cool. Yeah. Oh, all right, Frankie.
All right.
Did we get everything covered?
I think so. Like I said, us, we go through stuff pretty fast, and we probably missed some stuff that was, probably needed to be said that we didn't get to, but, if you're interested, like I said, it's out there, go out there, find it, Google The Beautiful Thing,
The Beautiful Thing?
The Beautiful Thing,
What the hell is The Beautiful Thing?
I said it's a beautiful thing.
Oh, it's a beautiful thing. I thought you said Google the beautiful thing.
No, I said Google is a beautiful thing. God damn deaf old man. No.
You're not wrong. No. You're not wrong.
No.
All right, guys, go check out Golden Mojo ENT so you can find out everything about the Golden Mojo Entertainment world. I know I'm still working on it. It's okay. See, stop the hate mail. I was talking to Frankie. He's the only one that sends me hate mail. But we would love to hear from you. thegoldenimage80s@gmail.com. We just want to hear from the people who listen to the show. Please send us an email.
Yeah.
Just say hi. Say Golden J, you suck. I mean, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear from you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And also check out our merch store at the website. So, I mean, you got some great stuff on there. And it covers all of the Empire, except, I shouldn't say, I mean, if you want to see United States Paranormal, you got to go to UnitedStatesParanormal.com for their merch. But it does cover
They're
all
too good for us.
I know, right? They're terrible. But you got Puck, you got Gridiron Kingz, you got Indiana Chiefs fans. Real Terror doesn't have anything up there yet because somebody is slacking out in Nebraska, Lance. Just saying. Need to get that. Need to get their page and their merch up.
Yeah.
I know he's working on.
I mean, it's
stuff.
Nebraska. What else is there to do? Come on.
There's more than corn in Nebraska. That's terrible. Yeah, so go check it out. What else we got on there? Golden 80s is on there, obviously.
Golden 80s, yeah.
I think there's still some stuff up. Oh, MurdNerds is on there. There's still stuff up for Golden Image podcast and Quarter Books and Booze. I mean, those are both were part of the Empire early on. But you can still get a T-shirt if you want some nostalgia of the Golden Image podcast. It's nostalgia, baby. Just get after it. All right.
All right.
Frankie, until next week.
Absolutely.
Hasta la vista, baby.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to the Golden 80s podcast. Check us out at goldenmojoent.com where you can find out about our great merchandise and a little bit about Frankie and Golden J. Also, at goldenmojoent.com, you can find out about all the other podcasts in the Golden Mojo Entertainment network of podcasts, like
the United States of Paranormal, Indiana Chiefs fans, the Gridiron Kingz, MurdNerds, the Nostalgia Tug, Real Terror, and the Puck Yeah Podcast. But you can still find Golden Image Podcast, A Quart of Books and Booze, and The Call Guys wherever you stream your favorite podcast. And if you have a story that you would like us to cover, just let us know at thegoldenimage80s@gmail.com. Please like, rate, and subscribe wherever you listen.